not necessarily hard for Jalen, but Jalen's going to have to do his deal as far as what he did over the summertime, how he got productive as far as, shortening, his throwing motions, his footwork, things of that nature. And I believe he can do it. He just got to go out there and show that he can do it to get these teams out of blitzing. Because if he start hitting the middle of that field, because when you blitz, you're going to vacate an area. He start hitting guys like Dallas Goedert in the middle of that field, or maybe even who's ever in the slot. I mean, you can have some big chunk yardage after you blitz, because once you bring those linebackers, there's nobody behind to help them out.
The pressure on that team on Monday is going to be clearly on the corners and on that triangle. Barrett's been saying this since I met him, and I'm going to go back over it again. That team gets beat on first down. Do you know what that does to a defense when you got 3rd and 3? You can't win that. They're going to complete 3rd down 75% of the time. When you got a team in 3rd and 6, 7, 8, 9, it goes like this: 18%, 11%. When you're 3rd and 9, you got a 9% opportunity at completing that sequence of plays to get first down. Let's bring my friend in, Barrett Brooks from Sports Take. He's so dope and he's so great. Barrett, I'll tell you what, brother. Awesome stuff, man. Hey, you're right on about that first down, man. It has been an Achilles heel for 19 games. Barrett, you said something the other day that I don't think a lot of people picked up on, that maybe there's a blueprint on what Detroit saw. You think we're going to see a lot of 1st and 2nd down run blitzes in the same way on Monday night against Jalen until he can show he can spread it around?
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost kind of hurting them that they're best friends and their chemistry is so good, that he can go to them at any time. And teams are going to pick up on that. That's what defensive coordinators get paid millions of dollars to stop this. But he does have the capable weapons that he can go to. It just so happens that the Lions just didn't have enough horses in their stable to stop anything else. They have stopped the initial read, but after that, they couldn't do anything else. Like, they couldn't stop Jalen from running around because they're really not a good team. They gave the Eagles their best and weren't able to close the deal. But as the Eagles go forward, they'll be tested in a way that teams are going to try to stop them with run blitzes as opposed to passing blitzes, because, like I said, it's going to be hard for Jalen. Not necessarily hard for Jalen, but Jalen's going to have to do his deal as far as what he did over the summertime, how he got productive as far as, shortening, his throwing motions, his footwork, things of that nature. And I believe he can do it. He just got to go out there and show that he can do it to get these teams out of blitzing. Because if he start hitting the middle of that field, because when you blitz, you're going to vacate an area. He start hitting guys like Dallas Goedert in the middle of that field, or maybe even who's ever in the slot. I mean, you can have some big chunk yardage after you blitz, because once you bring those linebackers, there's nobody behind to help them out. And they could be big plays, just to get them out of that. So Jalen has to take that next progression into becoming a guy that reads it, sees it, and gets the ball where it was, as opposed to, letting the pressure get to him.
How about this, Bear? Would this help the kid out a little bit if you rolled him more? You rolled him to the wide side or into the short side? Because if he's going to be isolated on one and you're going to bring a lot of pressure. Now, look, I think Stoutland clearly had probably a come-to-Jesus conversation. And I believe this. I believe the stuff on offense will be fixed more than I do what the stuff on defense is going to be fixed. Because I think there's going to be a better pass protection. Even though the Vikings are a better unit, is there a way of helping him? Because look at what you said with Goedert. Goedert had 3 catches for 60 yards. The guy's averaging 20 yards a catch. You got to get him more involved in that there. Is maybe rolling him something that they would think about, because that means he only has to manage half the field as well.
I think it's just using play action, period, because they have the ability to run the ball when they want to, run play action, and not necessarily play action because they're trying to fool the defense into thinking they're running the ball. But it's solid protection. Solid meaning you're going to keep more blockers in to push the ball down the field. You're going to keep a tight end in. You're going to keep a running back in. And with that becomes extra protection. Give Jalen extra time to get the ball out to where he wants to go to. It's not necessarily has anything to do with the appearance of them running it. It's just projection. When you do play action, even the offensive line blocks more aggressively because they're trying to make a run fake. So it just gives them a better look at stymieing the defensive line at the line of scrimmage and giving him more time to see things develop in front of him. So play action is not just something that you use to fake the run. It's just used to push the ball down the field easier because you have more blockers. It gives Jalen more time to read and react to what's going on. They could use waggle protection. Waggle protection meaning they block man front side, pull the backside guard, and almost have him as an escort for Jalen Hurts as he rolls out. And it just gives him the extra blocker to keep guys from just flashing right in front of his face. All those things, just like you're saying with the rollouts and, just moves him around, gives him a little more time, a little more vision of the entire field, as opposed to just sitting back there and just trying to be a quarterback just go sit in the pocket and throw down the field. If you look at it, more quarterbacks get hurt in the pocket than they do outside the pocket.
That's right. I love the way you were breaking down the defense because I think you said this too, Barrett. There's no question Jonathan Gannon is more in love with his scheme than the players that he has. And he's trying to fit square pegs in round holes and not looking at being a guy that's going to create a front, create like Jim Johnson, Buddy Ryan, 46 defense, the Gang Green, even the Tampa defense. I was talking to Dungy a couple days ago. When you got players like Derek Brooks and Rondé Barber and John Lynch and Sapp, you create a front and a defense to be able to utilize. You just can't put 43 in. Then this is where I think Hassan Reddick is lost. I mean, what you said, I would put a 50 front in there because it stops the guards and tackles or guards and centers from getting up on scoop and slip up on the linebackers.
Exactly.
You're set up to win first down that way. And what I would also do, Barrett, I would roam Hassan Reddick, rush him from the short side, not rush him from the edge, the wide side. He can't cover tight ends. He can't cover backside of the backfield. Put him in the short side of the field and let him rush off that side of the corner there because he's got the corner to defend him and help. I'm talking the sideline. How would you use him? And do you see the same thing? I just think he's just out of position.
Well, if you use him in a 50 front, that means you have to use a back to block him or a tight end to block him. So that's an advantage for you because now he can beat the tight end or the running back. And if he does get to a offensive tackle, he can get past them because that's what he does best. You just got to put him in a position, that you can't slide protections to him. You can't allocate blockers to him. Kind of hide him a little bit. But at the end of the day, that's what he's done anyway. He doesn't care about hiding him. He wants to go out there and just rush the passer. They tried it from linebacker level and rush him from there. It didn't really work so well. Just put him on the line and let him go. Just let him go. If you want him to go out there and produce, just let him go. See what he does first as far as one-on-one with the tackle before you start being innovative and putting him, wherever you want to put him. If you're going to allow him to roam, let him roam then. If you do that, I believe he'll find a way to get there because it's on him to get to where he needs to go. So let him roam a little bit. It'll work.
Couple last questions here for you. I was talking about a guy like Brian Flores and what kind of influence that he would have on a defense like that. I don't know if that would be somebody that would fit into this system if this thing goes the way. And again, Barrett, I think you and me are looking at Jonathan Gannon, not on the Lions game. We're looking at the last 19 games. And we're looking at really trends. You and I are trend guys. We see what teams do trending. And we look like the last 3 games of the year and this last week. That's how I look at teams. And I also look at a formula on how a D coordinator and offensive coordinator act. I just don't see him all of a sudden on Monday, Jonathan Gannon doing this. Okay, we're going to blitz because Cousins can't handle pressure. And we know he can't handle pressure. That's who he is. But we knew Goff can't handle pressure. And for whatever reason, he stopped. How do you see this thing playing out?
Well, Dan, I was always told you walk like a duck, you quack like a duck. What are you?
You're a duck.
Exactly. You are. And if you break tendencies, if tendencies are working, and I haven't seen the tendencies work a lot that he has going on. You got guys up front that I thought could whip the guy in front of him. I didn't see it this last game. So what are you going to do to get pressure on the quarterback when you can't get there with your front four? you got to send blitzes. Is he scared to blitz? I wouldn't think so, because he has actually 3 good corners out there that can cover. Sometimes you got to let those guys get up in somebody's face and just cover. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't see anything else but, that they can do. I didn't see any pass rush. I thought Sweat was going to have 2 sacks. He didn't have any. He didn't even sniff the quarterback. I thought BG was going to give me a couple sacks. He didn't sniff the quarterback either. Even Hargrave, who I thought, he was, tied for most sacks on the team last year, he didn't piss a drop. So I'm trying to figure out where can they stimulate pressure to the quarterback. I don't know. So this is going to be telling to me on what type of coach Gannon is. The first game, all right, I understand you hadn't had any film on him. You have film now on a pretty damn good defense. Where are you going to go from here? I want to see if he's going to step up and tell us all to shut up as we go forward. That's the only way I can see it. You either get up and make things happen, or you're going to tend to be who you are, a bend but don't break type of guy.
Last question for you here. And to that point, don't you think, certain coaches, you and I have been around like this. Hey, look, man, I want to play the 3 technique. Do you think I could cheat over a little bit to a head up? Because I can handle the guy, and I'm allowed, instead of playing on a 3 technique, maybe I want to go more towards a 0 technique where I can handle the guy so I can handle the A gap and the B gap. Would you be cool with that? They would say this: hey, make sure you tell the guy behind you. Make sure the guy tells behind you and then behind you. You got 5 new starters in that line. How much of a communication issue do you think it's been? Think about this too, Barrett. They're going to be playing against a team that's been together with Jefferson.
Dan, stop, Dan. They can't, because they don't do full speed reps. Simulate what they're going to see. You got to go full speed to do that. When Jerome would tell you, hey, I'm jumping this gap, or he told Seth, say, hey, man, I got this gap. I'm jumping, I'm going. And Seth used to say, oh, hell, he's about to go. Let me cover for him. But they don't have that chemistry yet, because they haven't been on the field necessarily doing it full speed yet. So that'll be a problem. Unless you know the guy next to you, it's going to be hard for you to make those type of decisions, man. So you can't do that if you don't have a guy that's going to be with you to do it. You told if you told your guy, hey, Jerome, I see something here. I got him. I got a duck right here. I'm about to beat him on this side over here. He'd be, all right, I got you right here, because you guys played together. They haven't played together enough yet. Not in full speed reps yet. Maybe later on in the season, but they can't do it now, because you have to do that full speed to know if you can do it or not.
I'm going to tell everybody, because Barrett's probably at White Castle now. Jerome would look over at me and go like this. And I'm sitting here with him, and he'd go like this. I'm going to hit the gap. He'd go back there, 3 sacks, 2 tackles, and I look over at him and go like this. I shake my head like this, Barrett. That mother. And he go, what are you doing? I goes, man, I worked my ass off to get to this point. And all you do is eat buckets of chicken and get in the backfield to make tons of plays. It used to aggravate me, man. Unbelievable, man. Hey, you got a free weekend though, right?
You know what? I got a free Sunday. I get to watch all the games, but I do on Saturday. I'm the color analyst, and I'm doing Rutgers at Temple at
Rutgers
2 o'clock
all night.
Eastern time.
Rutgers all night, man. I hate to tell Rob that. hey, Barrett, I love you so much, man, for doing this. Thank you so much,
my friend. Bro. Appreciate you.
Great talking with you. I miss you a lot, man. Thank you so much, brother.
We got to get it going, bro.
We will, man. Thank you so much. Barrett Brooks, man. I love that guy, man. He's such a great analyst, too, man. He absolutely is. Hey, by the way, our good friends at Morgan & Morgan want you to know this. If you're hurt or injured on the job, there's only one place for you to go when it comes to defending your family, and that is Morgan & Morgan. For the past 30 years, they have been collecting money for their clients to the tune of $13.5 billion. God, I love that, man. There's no case too small for them. There's no case that's going to ever intimidate them. They have over 800 attorneys and offices in Philly, New York, and in Florida. Folks, nobody defends you better because they're the biggest in America when it comes to getting you your fair compensation. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation's free. 800-512-1600. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, tell them Big Sil sent you.
Many times when people are injured at a place of business, they don't realize they may have a case. The fact is, injuries should not happen. And most of the time when someone is injured, someone is at fault. Maybe the store manager installed a cheap, slippery floor, or there wasn't proper security. After an injury at a hotel, restaurant, store, or any place of business, it's so important to call us. Time matters, size matters. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.com.